Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? So we're just out here spending a little time with our chickens, kind of checking them out a little bit. So this is one of our Buff Orpingtons. Not sure if she's male or female. I'm going to guess rooster, guys. And the reason for that is not necessarily for the comb size or even the wattles, but I'm seeing a lot of red there. So I think that this one here is probably going to be a rooster, and I could be wrong. So from what I've been researching and speaking to some of my friends that have farms and stuff, said it's still kind of hard to tell with this particular breed. But this one here's name is Peaches. This is the one I'm pretty sure is a rooster. He always had a tendency to roost up on the box. He likes the tallest perch inside the little coop and things like that. So um, if you're seeing anything in the videos that you think we could be doing better here, guys, definitely let me know, because this is the first time keeping chickens. Uh, as far as the square footage for the run here, this run is a 13 by 20 foot. It will be used for a 5 birds. It's going to be 4 layers and a rooster. Right now, we're just waiting to see what our roosters are. You want me to let you down, baby? Okay. Right now, we're just kind of letting everybody grow out so we can see who our roosters are and things like that. And the roosters are going to get butchered out. We are going to keep one rooster for the flock protection and stuff like that as well. What you doing, bud? Well, I thought that one would want me to pick her up. But some of them are not as friendly as others. So I have a black Australorp that does pretty good. She's out digging around right now. But she usually comes up, likes to sit in my lap while I sit out here. But I would highly recommend, if you're going to keep chickens, to just kind of be out with them a little bit and let them get used to hearing your voice. They're going to come up to you. So yesterday, you probably seen some of the videos, it looked like there was some lettuce laying around. Made a salad, and then just the end of the lettuce head that was left over, brought it out, busted it up, throwed it out here. And they pretty much eat that up already. So it's always great to give them that little extra, snack or whatever. I don't know how much nutritional value was actually in that head of lettuce, but the birds seem to really enjoy it. So I'm actually looking forward to our garden coming in. So we have a lot of really good stuff out there. So we've got some spinach greens that's going to be growing. Chickens seem to really enjoy that. As far as the beets and things, I'm not a real big beet eater. We will be starting to put some of that back into our storage as that comes in, or our preps, because it is a good source of vitamins and things. But the greens off of that, they say chickens love that. It's really good for them. So instead of trying to buy like natural supplements or supplements in the store, it's easier to just grow your own stuff to feed to your chickens. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking at doing chickens, that you put in a small garden, even if it's not for you. If you just want to use some little containers to grow certain things, just try to grow things that the chickens will enjoy. So this is my little black Australorp. Ooh. Well, that was the rooster. He does not like to be held much. I've been trying to get him to sit in my lap a little bit, but he's just not having it. He kind of does his own thing, and I've noticed that with the ones that are kind of hens, they're a little friendlier than some of the roosters. But sorry, I get distracted sometimes. I'm trying to see what it is that they're eating on the ground here. We threw some black soldier fly larvae out. I'm not seeing any of that on the ground. I believe they ate that all up yesterday. And you can get grubs and things like that pretty easy. So one of the things that I am doing out here is I'm trying to raise my own power worms. There's some videos on that. Basically what you do is you get some power worms. You can get them from PetSmart or from different suppliers and stuff. They have online suppliers to send it right to your house. And they're very easy to raise those. All you have to do is take and put in some, say, fresh or crushed rolled oats, things like that. You don't want sugars and stuff in that. And then just put your power worms in those containers and expand your container. Make sure it has a lid that has small holes in it so they can get oxygen in, but not have the beetles crawl out, because they will turn into beetles, which then come in and eat more, and then they start to lay eggs, and then you're going to get more power worms. So I have a plan for about a 10-gallon tote, which is going to be basically to give treats not just to the chickens but also the quail as well. So those are some great avenues to do. You can do earthworms, night crawlers, and things like that if you want to do a worm farm. They all seem like they enjoy that pretty good. But I think it's important that you try to create a little bit of sustainability. You know, you don't want to be going out and buying a lot of snacks. Now, as far as the black soldier fly, I have determined that probably the best source that I've found for those is going to be Grubterra. They're not as expensive as some of the other stores, and they actually have the whole black soldier fly larva, and it's actual larva. It's not just casings from soldier flies that have hatched and then they've just left the casing behind as well. And that's what I was running into buying at some local suppliers. But you know, those are just a few friendly little tips for everybody. I'm gonna try to get some videos today, actually with the chicks if we can, and just kind of talk about them a little bit, some of the temperaments that I've seen. That way, if you decide you want to get some chickens, you kind of know what you're looking at and can kind of have a little bit of a gauge of what their personalities and things like that are. So this is our Brahma chick. I don't know if you call them chickens at this point. They're more pullets and cockerels, so they're kind of in their teenage stage. So you're going to get a little bit of that teenage rebellion with them. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a hen, just from the very small comb development. The comb's very yellow looking. With some of our other chickens out here, I've noticed that some of the dark red combs, I'm pretty sure that those are going to be roosters, just from the deepness of the red and the size of the comb itself. So for those of you that are interested in maybe doing Brahma chickens, so from what I've noticed is they're very, very friendly, very affectionate birds. They tolerate, I guess I should say, being held a little more than some of the other breeds. Now, as they get older, they become a little more, you know, docile once they get out of that teenage rebellion stage. But they're just beautiful birds. They have a very soft feather to them compared to some of the other chickens I've got. You hopping down, baby? They don't like to be held up close to you a whole lot of times. They prefer to kind of be on your hand or on your knee if you want to let them up there. And they do fly pretty well, even for, you know, their size weight. But if you're looking at a bird that's going to be a good dual purpose bird, but you also want to use a bird to have meat supply, I would recommend a Brahma on that aspect, because they will top out, your roosters will top out around 12 to 13 pounds. Your hens are going to top out between 9 and 11, so you're going to get a little more meat. They don't lay eggs as often, but they do lay a larger egg, so that's something to consider as well. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of people you need to feed in your family. I would not recommend having a lot of that breed if you don't have a very large area. So if I was doing just strictly Brahmas, I would have to pretty much double the size of my run for that. I would like to keep one maybe. We're going to see how it works out. Depends on how many hens I've got, because most of the hens the ones I believe are hens, they're going to be a little bit better egg layers. So I know a lot of people don't like the idea of cooking your chickens. They see them as pets and things like that. Out here, this being a makeshift homestead, that is the reason for raising these birds. Give them love, give them food, and then when it comes time, they will give nourishment to the family as well. This one here is one of my little roosters. As you can see, guys, very tall comb, very large wattles, very red in appearance compared to the other birds. I'm not exactly sure on the breed here. So could be what they call an Americana, or it could be the Plymouth Barred Rock. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm kind of leaning toward the Americana, to be honest, just because the feather pattern I'm seeing is not barred. It is streaked, it is striped. It's not really the barred look, and that could change as this bird gets a little older. And the roosters do not like being held at all. They kind of will come up, tolerate for a minute, and then they want to fly off. So I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to actually take and clip their wings or not. Most of the time, we're going to spend time in the run. I will probably expand this run and buy another section or something as we go. But I don't know that I'm going to let the birds free range a lot right now. And mainly because there's reports of this H5N1, I believe it's called. It's a type of a bird flu. And it's being carried across the East Coast by wild birds. And this will give them a slight quarantine to prevent birds from just coming in around the chickens and keep getting them sick. So that's something to think about. If you're going to keep chickens, you have to keep an eye on a lot of that type of stuff. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. I would love to be able to let them just kind of go out and graze the yard if I could, but I got to take that in consideration as well. We're going to see if we can get another one of our chickens. So this is one of the black Austroorps. This is a hen. Very small comb. It's got a little pink there, but it's nowhere near red. I'm not seeing a lot of wattle development. It's okay, sweetie. Come on. It's okay. I'm going to let her go, guys. She doesn't want to be held right now. They're kind of out doing their little thing, running around, absorbing their pecking orders and stuff, kind of getting all that set up. But right now, I'm going to have to say the friendliest chicken that I actually have is going to be the Buff Orpingtons. And that may just be because I come out and had spent more time with them when they were even younger. But right now, the other chicks, they're kind of doing what they want to do. So we're going to pan this camera around and let everybody see exactly what these guys are doing. So I'm gonna let them all get back to doing what it is they're doing. I just wanted to bring the camera out and get some footage for everybody. Having chickens, I'm gonna have to say I'm actually really enjoying it. I wasn't sure how well I was gonna like it, but it gives me a reason to get up early in the mornings, because without that I'll sleep till noon most days being retired. So it's been nice getting up, cracking on, getting everybody out, watching them come piling out of the coop and stuff. So in my coop I do not have an automatic door. And if you decide to use automatic door, I'm sure that's great. The reason I don't use one out here, I apologize for the wind and that tarp popping, guys. It's a little windy today. But the reason I don't use an automatic door is I like to come out and inspect my run and make sure no predators have dug into it or is currently in here as well. And if that door opens up and there's a predator in here, then I'm going to lose chickens. So it's easier for me to just get up, come out, check to make sure everything's secure, and then release my chickens that way. And I thought it was going to be kind of hard, just from some of the articles I read, to actually get them trained to return to their coop. And one of the commenters, I forget your name, but if you've seen this video, thanks for the information. Basically, they just take their chicks and they can, after they reach a certain age, they put them out and they do their own thing. That is exactly what's happened here. So typically about 30 minutes before the sun goes down, it's starting to get lower in the sky, I come out and everybody's already in the coop. Everyone's already on the roosting poles. And I just have to shut the door. It has made it so easy. There's no running around trying to round chickens up or anything like that. And now I'm sure if they were turned loose in the yard, it's going to be a little more difficult. But they seem to be doing great on their own. So there was really no training period. The first day I put them in, and I kept them in that day, just so they were used to being in there. And the next morning, I was going to leave them in for 2 days like they suggest on some of the articles I've read. But it was just a really nice day. They were wanting out, so I opened the door and let them come out, and everything has went well. They've just been adapting naturally. Not had any issues from that. I've not seen any predators around here. I've not seen any mice inside the coop, so there are quite a few cats that run around. We keep the doors locked and everything out here. We have chains to go on top of that as a secondary type of a defense, just to keep raccoons and stuff out. But I just noticed earlier, one of the things I was watching is one of the old field cats that's coming around. They had a pretty good size mouse in their mouth. So cats are doing what they're supposed to do. They're keeping the mice down and things like that. And that's going to help with the chickens as well. So I'm not having to deal with pests inside the coop, hopefully. And if it is a mouse, as the chicken gets older, they will eat those things. My main thing is rats. I don't want rats in. I've not seen a lot of rats, but we do have a couple tomcats that run around, and every now and then we'll see where they have killed a rat. They like to leave it at the doorstep, let you know they're doing their job and earning their keep. So that's always something to kind of keep in mind. Now, I have no doubt that if them cats got in here with these chickens at this age, they would end up eating them because they are pretty feral. They're just some cats that hang around. They're not really a pet. But so you got to make sure you keep your coop secure. You want to make sure that there's no openings being developed. Maybe a raccoon or something is trying to get in. Maybe it got in and then got out, and you have a hole and you let your chickens out in the morning, and then a cat comes in and eats everything. So something to kind of keep an eye on when you're doing chickens, guys. But hope you're enjoying the videos. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe in. We're going to be doing some more content here pretty soon. We had a tractor out here a little bit, just kind of cutting some of the brush down yesterday, and we're going to try to expand into this backfield a little bit with some more wildflowers and stuff like that, maybe later in the year. And the reason we're doing that is just give the honeybees that little extra stuff. But all the fields behind me, all this stuff back here, this is fixing to start blooming here probably in another few weeks. We have a lot of blackberries, we have a lot of grapevines and stuff like that that's just wild out through here. So I'm looking forward to the bees getting that for their hives. But then I'm also looking forward to going out and harvesting up a lot of these blackberries and things to actually start making preserves with as well. So that's something we're going to cover on the channel as well. Now, I've not done preserves since I was a kid, so we're going to have a little learning curve to come back up into that. But everyone have a great day.